Pugh. That'll do it! That will do it! Pugh for Bournemouth! The roof of the Gold Sands is raised! Everyone here knows what that could mean to this football.
Hello, good evening, Bournemouth fans, and welcome to the very last episode of the summer series here on Back of the Net. Over the summer, we've been here pretty much every week with a roundup of all the AFC Bournemouth talking points, but as the season approaches, we'll be back to our usual format of just doing impromptu videos and providing our reactions to the latest breaking news that is emanating from the club. And on this episode, there's a lot to talk about, so here is what's coming up. So the Back of the Net Golf Day is around the corner. It's on August the 18th and the draw is being made soon for you to play a round of golf with some sporting heroes. More on that with myself and Tiggs very shortly. Plus, Tiggs is going to provide our pre-season assessment too. How's it gone? Was it okay? Tom Jordan's going to join us during the show as well. No doubt he'll be wanting to talk about Sam Surridge going to Stoke for 5.5 million. Decent business, eh? Transfer rumours, there's lots of them flying about, so we'll be talking about that. Plus, some ticket news too. They've been on general sale, but there are also ticketing issues outside the stadium too. We'll be talking about AFCB TV and also how we are going to be covering 21-22 here on Back of the Net. It's going to be a very, very busy season for us. And one of the stars of Back of the Net has joined me right now, by the way, of Tiggsy. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really excited. It's here, isn't it? It's proper here. Friday's the day, and there's loads of people on chat. Nice to see you people. There's Cameron. Good evening. We've also got Harry here as well. Chris Edwards, Chris Hubble, Daniel in Florida. Nice to see you, buddy. Saw your uncle recently. That was all right, wasn't it? We got Harry Mogg, as I said. Yeah, James Reed's here. Liam, Jeff. Great to see all of the usual faces. And during the show, we'll pop your messages on screen. Later on then, my vlogging comrade, Tom Jordan's going to be joining us. He's just finishing off his six-a-side at Little Down, but he's going to be here a bit later in the show. So for the first part, we need to talk about this Back of the Net Golf Day, mate. And it's going to be a big one, isn't it? Massive.
It's going to be a big one.
They didn't think we could go bigger than last year with Harry, but we got Harry and his mates this time, which is fantastic. And then all for a really, really good cause.
It is. So Back of the Net are running a fundraiser by way of a golf day once again, raising money for Melanoma Focus. And there's a reason why we chose this charity, which we'll talk about later on. The golf day is on August the 18th, and you can enter by donating. But why would you want to? Well, firstly, and most importantly, you're donating to Melanoma Focus, a national charity dedicated to providing a comprehensive and an authoritative source of information for public and professionals alike, as well as supporting education and promoting research about melanoma. But secondly, they can donate because they can play alongside some sporting superstars at the Dorset Golf Resort. Do you want to tell me who's involved, Tiggs?
I can indeed. We've got Harry Redknapp, Graham Souness, Tony Pulis.
Yeah.
And the booby prize, Matt Batissier.
but that's all right though. And look at this beautiful course. It's near Bear Regis, but I mean it's going to be a cracking day. And we did it last year. Simon Kay was one of the winners of that, and he had a cracking time with Harry. But yeah, this time it's Harry and the boys, and there they all are, and it's in memory of Brian O'Donnell. So here's how it works. Every £5 is one entry to the draw, okay, and that draw is being made on Monday, by the way. So if you're going to donate and you want to take part, do it ASAP. There are 4 places available for it. So the more you donate, the more you've got a chance to play. And you got a bacon sandwich to start the day at 10:30. You got a round of golf, and then, am I hearing 2-course lunch, Tiggs? A buffet lunch?
Yeah, there's going to be some more food, but that was one of the best bits last year. I think Harry got what was it? His favourite pudding?
Jam roly poly.
Jam roly poly with custard. I think he whipped one of them out. So yeah, there'll be lots of that. Lots of good chat as well. Lots of fun with the boys. They'll be wanting to tell their stories all about their footballing times. So yeah, it's a good one. After the golf, as you say, there will be the buffet. If you can't stay for the golf, you could just pop in for 10 minutes, have a chat with Brian's family, just to say thank you for their support. Be aware, this is the same day as Birmingham away. So just make sure you plan your diary appropriately for that. And we're going to keep donations going, Sam, aren't we, until the day itself? But we got to pick the 4 winners before then. Otherwise, it's not fair. We can't call you up on the day.
No, exactly. So, Tiggs, why Melanoma Focus then?
Well, Melanoma Focus was chosen this year because a good friend of ours, Tony Funnell, his good friend, Brian O'Donnell, he was much loved in the football community, not least at Bournemouth, but also other places as well. He was a player for us. He was also a youth team coach for years, and he meant an incredible amount to a lot of people. He was a brilliant husband, dad, granddad, son, brother, and friend. And as a sufferer of melanoma, he was really passionate about raising awareness for this aggressive type of cancer. Starting in the skin, it can be very dangerous. It spreads and grows really quickly. It's the UK's most rapidly increasing type of cancer, with around 16,000 and more new cases every year. That's 44 every day in the last few years. So, but Brian, one of the things he really, really wanted to do, and he expressed it to Tony, is he wanted to have a golf day to raise money for this charity. But unfortunately, Brian never got the chance to do that. So we're trying to create that opportunity for him in his memory now.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's at the Dorset Golf Resort in Bear Regis with the support of Woodstock Legal Services in Poole, featuring the aforementioned sporting stars, but also you can sponsor a hole as well. So if you're a business, you can certainly get involved and show your support. It's £100 a hole. If you'd like to sponsor, you can see the details there on screen. Email fans@afcbpodcast.com, because what we'll do is we'll get those stars holding your company logo, and then look, you can use that graphic however you want within your marketing. So look, why not? Or if you're an individual that just wants to sponsor it, feel free to give us an email, fans@afcbpodcast.com. Choose your hole, and then we'll do it. And you know, look, there's been a few companies involved already, including Codestone, that are over on the Nuffield, and absolutely superb. And after that, and even after the entries close for the competition, we'll still be raising money until the day itself by way of auctioning off some Cherries memorabilia. Is that right, Tiggs?
Yeah, Tony Funnell has gone out there and he's beavered away, and he's got some excellent prizes to auction. So including shirts, match-worn shirts, I believe. So it's going to be really good. Keep watching Back of the Net for more information on that, because it will be coming up very, very soon. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. So that is the Back of the Net Golf Day. If you want to donate now and take part, or even if you haven't got £5 and you just want to donate £2-3 or whatever, you can, but obviously you won't be included in the entry if your donation is less than £5. But yeah, it's afcbpodcast.com/golf. Thank you so much for supporting it. Right then, Tigsy, pre-season assessment, that's what's coming up next. We had our Spanish training camp, which was pretty decent. We worked really hard. We beat Linense. I won't say the whole name. We beat them in a good 4-2 win. And then it was a loss against Granada, but still a decent performance. We then had Chelsea at home, which was a really good performance, especially for the first hour or so. And, showed our pressing intent, which I thought was really good. And look, they weren't not a strong side, I've got to say. And then it was effectively a friendly. That's how it was kind of positioned in terms of the fixture calendar. But it was a competitive match against MK Dons at the weekend in the Carabao Cup. And we only went and won 5-0. But how do you sum it up then, mate? Do you think it's been a successful 4 games for us?
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting listening to you then reel it all back to me, Sam, and sort of reliving that pre-season. And we only won 1. We won the MK Dons, but we lost 2 of the friendlies, but it doesn't feel like we did because I felt that we saw so many positive things. I know, like, going away on a summer training camp, to me, like when we first did that, it seemed a little bit lavish, a little bit kind of, do we need to do that really? But apparently it was really good for the players. It got them to bond together and they had to work really, really hard. So all bonuses from that. And we did play some good teams that played some good football. And I think that's really important, that the quality of our opposition has been really, really good. So, all right, we lost to Chelsea, but come on, who's not going to lose to Chelsea?
No, that's right. Exactly. And, I thought we gave them a pretty good game. And it was actually, I don't know, the first, you wouldn't have known that there was a league between the two sides. And there were a few moments where I just thought our football was absolutely superb. And some players that haven't really had their chance were actually like pulling the strings at times, including Gavin Kilkenny in the middle of the park, turned Loftus-Cheek a number of times, just like so easily. And, like there were a number of young lads who have staked their case for, being included in Scott Parker's thoughts. And it does seem to be where it is going to be a season where the youth are probably going to get more of an opportunity, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And to be very honest with you, Sam, it's changed my fashion outlook. I was going to get my hair cut this week. I've tied it up now, so I look like Ibsen Rossi or Carl Taylor, because those guys, I think, and Gavin Kilkelly and Zamora and, don't you wish you had a striker like Anthony? All of them, you can't fault them, can you? The effort that they put in, they've really raised their game. They don't look out of place at all. So it's really exciting. I just hope that the momentum continues, that they still get chances throughout the season. It doesn't fade away, because we've been here before where we've watched preseason games and got really excited. Oh, this is the year, this is the time. And then the chances for those players to fade away. Kilkenny's the one I'm worried about, but I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah, we will do. And then, that 5K match, 5-0 win against, that's what we were trying to reach for Melanoma Focus, isn't it? 5K if possible. But I tell you what, their keeper had an absolute mare, didn't he? They were playing out from the back. He was making bloopers all over the place. If you've seen our match day vlog with myself and Tom kept on calling him Ravioli. There was a Z in the name, but he was, and there's Tom with the hand signals on the left of the screen. He absolutely loves giving it. And look, when we're talking about youth, Christian Sadie, he's getting on the score sheet. How good is that for him, eh?
Oh, amazing. He must be absolutely buzzing. He's probably still buzzing now. The lad, he just didn't stop working once he got on that pitch, and he got an assist. So a goal and an assist, you can't really do better on your proper debut. And I think I'm right in saying that's our best 5-0's our best in the competition that we've ever had.
Yeah, that's
equaling
right.
our best, maybe.
Yeah,
is there another one?
Record equaling. I think that we drubbed Dagenham and Redbridge 5-0, and that was it was in August 2011 actually, when Lyle Taylor's late brace added to goals from Pewey, Sean Cooper and Liam Feeney there. So fantastic performance, but we've got to be wary that West Brom are a different kettle of fish, aren't they? They're going to be a very, very difficult team.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've been looking around the internet. I've been looking at how other people think the league table is going to be finished. And I know we've already given ours, and there's a brilliant video of that. If you go and have a look through, Tom and Sam going through how they think the season's going to pan out. And do you know what? I was really worried about West Brom. I've watched all these videos and read these articles. A lot of people haven't got them. Haven't got them very high at all. So, I think they've had a few changes there. A change of manager, which may mean a change of style, but I don't know if they're equipped enough. So I'm going in optimistic. I know they've got quality, but...
I think I saw a tweet. It was a promoted tweet, I think, but it was Vinnie Jones who tweeted today saying that he thinks Bournemouth are going to win the league.
Love it.
What?
Lock, stop.
That would be all right if that's the case, but I don't know. By the way, thanks to to Paul Horry, big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Looking forward to the start of the season, lads. I can see a big promotion season. You know what? We are loving the enthusiasm, and look, super chats are one way that you can donate to support the channel. Later on in the show, we'll tell you about the other ways that you can get involved as we go for our biggest season here on Back of the Net with more coverage than ever before. So yeah, pre-season then, relatively happy, but it all starts on Friday night. And look, as we've said before, Sky Sports obviously think there's something special about these two teams this season. And, a team that are going to be strong, you're coming down versus a team that maybe if it wasn't for Scott Parker being manager at the club, would have they wanted to televise it? I don't know, but the media obviously believe the hype about us, don't they?
Yeah, they certainly do. And there, a lot of people think that we're going to do really, really well this season. And, regardless of what you think, who might be leaving, we've still got Lerma. We've still got Danjuma. We've still got Billing. You look at the players we have still got, you cannot, there's no way that we shouldn't be in the top, at least the top 6, at least. There's no way that we could drop below that, really. Otherwise, it's a shambles. But and David Brooks, for me, I think this could be the season for him to show us that form.
Yeah, did you see Parker's quotes about David Brooks? Because he was, really complimentary of him. And look, I think I saw a tweet from Alex Deutsch as well. He said, if Scott Parker can get David Brooks playing to even 70% of what we know he can do, then he's done a good job. And David Brooks showing signs of quality. There were a few shots that he should have come away with scoring 3 or 4, but I don't know, maybe he's found the formation and the position for David Brooks to flourish.
He was very, very wide, wasn't he? Like really far out on that side there. And I think that sort of causes a problem then, doesn't it, as a team defending? Like, do you want to go with David Brooks, but then you're going to leave that massive space? So he got quite a lot of time on the ball, and I think that's something that he's struggled to have previously. Like, he's just been marked out of games, kicked out of games, certainly since we've come down to the Championship. But I think him having that extra space gave him that little bit extra time, and he was devastating, I thought, against MK Dons. And you and Tom, it made me laugh because you were both saying how he should have scored. He should have scored those early chances, and then he gets a really difficult chance and he scores. And maybe that's the telling tale of his season. Maybe that's what it's going to be like. But yeah, I think Parker may have got it spot on there. I mean, obviously it's going to change throughout the season. We're not going to keep the same formation. There'll be some tweaks. There'll be some player changes. But yeah, he certainly seems a lot more confident than we've seen him previously.
Brilliant stuff. So as we're hoping for good things from David Brooks, there's a little bit of transfer activity at AOCB, isn't there? Let's talk about it. And I almost feel like going into singing James Blunt. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. Sam Surridge has gone to Stoke. He's been with the club since, he was 9 years old.
Yeah.
He's had a few loan spells out, which, has done him the world of good. 5.5 million. Apparently it's rumored to be 2.5 million pounds at first, but with installments and with, various things happening, 5.5 million. Thoughts, Tiggs?
Sad. I am sad to see him go. It's good money from the sounds of things when you think about the amount of appearances that Sam has had. But then we also know that he is quite highly regarded. Did he get under 21s as well? A few appearances there.
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, you're right.
So people know a lot about him. What I find really interesting about Sam Surridge is, as good as a striker as he is, he's never really, since we've gone with Solanke up front, because he's different. He's a different sort of striker, isn't he? He's not the same sort of guy. When he came on, during those few games he came on, he actually really made a massive impact. He was playing completely differently to the way that Dom would play. So there's two things here. We've made our striking options really quite threadbare. If you look on the website at the moment, you've got Dom Solanke and you've got Jayden Anthony. Well, Jayden Anthony has been playing on the left wing, cutting in, isn't he, really? So in that central position, that looks a bit poor. Also, he's a different type of striker, and I think it's important to have different types of players. I'll be interested to see what Parker does. No way, and I'll be eating my words later. Are we leaving it like that with just Dom Solanke as the only fit central striker? I know we've got Say, but I think it would be so unfair on him to be pushed into that right now. But I don't know. I mean, good luck to Sam, because I really think he deserves it. And I think, without meaning to sound a little bit, what's the word? Cliche. Stoke is probably the right type of team for him. I mean, they were always very direct. He would absolutely love that. He will smash goals. I guarantee it. I think he'll do really, really well. And maybe we'll look back and think, cool, that was a steal for them, getting him for 5 million full. But we'll see. Hopefully there's a sell on.
Yeah, hopefully there is. And Southbourne 06, hate to say it, but Sam was a good, honest player, but ultimately, he says, not a top championship club level. I hope he proves me wrong. And look, I think that's the same for all of us. I remember watching Sam at over at Canford Magna, where the academy pitches are, and it felt like at the time they had like almost like a golden generation of youth players, and some of which managed to break into the first team every now and then, like Ollie Harfield in like a couple of cup games and stuff, and Corey Jordan as well. Sam Surridge was one of them as well. And look, Sam always bagged the goals, knows how to find the net, and ultimately we've just not seen enough of him. Sadly, it could be a brilliant signing for Stoke, or it could be money wasted. We just don't know. But one thing we always know is that he gives 110%. So, of course, like everyone at Back of the Net wishes him all the best. But Tiggs, striking options now. We'll talk about our rumours now very shortly. But you're looking at it now thinking, okay, what if Dom's injured? Then what? Scary.
I don't know, Sam. I think if Dom's injured, then what we're looking at, we're going to have to pull Jaden in. Maybe. I don't know. Who else can play there? I wouldn't put Brooks up there. I don't think we've got anyone, have we? Oh, wait a minute. I know who. Super. He's still, put out the cones and then he can quickly get changed. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. It caused anyone a hard time still, I'm sure.
Well, what do you think? Let us know what you think we should be doing in the transfer market, in which players we need on chat. Just pop a message on and we will certainly put them on screen throughout the course of the show. So, yeah, I think it's only right that we talk about the transfer speculation then. And one of the players that we have been linked with, mate, do you know much about Johnson Clark Harris? Please tell me you do.
No, not as much as Tom, which is a shame because I was going to pull him on this one. We'll have to get him in later on if we can. I know that he's highly rated. I know that people have been murmuring about him making a move from Peterborough. So if we manage to get the front of that queue, then for me it sounds great. I don't think he's the same sort of player as Dom Solanke though. So for a straight swap would mean maybe a change of system. I just wish we had someone who might know more.
If only I could bring him in, like right now, like click my fingers or something.
That'd be great. Oh,
that was good. That was good for you, Sam.
How are you, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, good. Just got in, so yeah.
How did football go tonight? How'd it go?
I was in goal tonight. I only let him 5.
Only?
Yeah. Couple from about 40 yards, and we're only playing 6-a-side, so it wasn't great. But yeah, I've got back. I hadn't even showered yet. I just thought the boys are on. I've got to join them.
So, mate, what we've got, so let me bring you up to date. We've been talking about the Back of the Net Golf Day. We've been talking about Sam Surridge leaving to go to Stoke. Let's just get your thoughts on that quickly. 5.5 million. It's a good move for him. Will he be getting regular first-team football? We don't know, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I hope so for Sam. But I think it's one of them things. I think because of his age, English, you kind of got to pay that these days. I mean, to us, it feels, it's kind of one of them offers where I feel like you can't turn that down. He wasn't going to get the minutes. And to be fair, I kind of rate the fact that he's gone, no, I want to go and play. I've been kind of on the periphery for a while now, hasn't he? Feels like he's been coming through for a long time. And I quite like the fact that he's gone, no, I want to go and play football. And I feel like I'm good enough. I think I said to a few Stoke fans on Twitter, because obviously we're delighted with the fee, but he can cause a nuisance, and he's already showed he can score goals at that level. So and he is young, so I understand why they've brought him in, but I also understand why we've accepted it, and why he's felt he needs to go and get minutes elsewhere. So I hope he does well, just not against us. But yeah, it's kind of one of them ones where you feel like best for all parties. It feels like that, doesn't it? But he is one of our own, so I think we'll always hope he does well. I've just seen Ingsy's gone as well, so two of our own have gone tonight. So yeah, a really good young Bournemouth Academy players left, and so's Danny Ings. So yeah, good.
It's strange, Tom. We were actually only chatting, I think, at the Cherries Cafe on Saturday morning about which academy player that we've had has been sold for the most amount of money. Is probably Sam. That's directly affecting AFC Bournemouth. I know that sort of certain players have come through the system like Adam Lallana and moved on and had big transfers later on. But that's decent money, and it just shows that if we had the facilities and had a decent training ground and all that kind of stuff, maybe we could bring more of them through and start to turn into that kind of club. But yeah, really nice to see. I mean, it would be nice to be replacing him with a striker, and this Johnson Clark Harris has been rumoured on Twitter at Peterborough United at the moment. 31 goals in 45 appearances last season. Before that, for Bristol Rovers, 24 goals in 42. Knows how to find the back of the net. Do you know much about him, Tom?
Not a great deal, but I mean, I remember, when we got Callum Wilson from Coventry, and it felt similar, like scoring goals at that level. And he made the transition seamlessly, didn't he, in the Championship? And I think the problem is that, I say a problem, but the automatic pressure would be, we'll go and do what Ivan Toney done when he left you guys then. Do you know what I mean? So there's already that expectation on him, but he's clearly a striker that knows where the back of the net is. So, yeah, it'll be whether we can... I can't see him being cheap. They're at the same level now. They've got promoted, so they'll be wanting to keep hold of him for sure. But yeah, I mean, he's certainly someone that would kind of excite us, wouldn't he? Because he's got that goal-scoring record already. I've seen a few things on Twitter, literally just before I come on, that the Delap deal to Stoke's off, and that Bournemouth are linked with trying to get him in on loan as well. So that's another player that I wouldn't surprise me. It's a loan deal that he would be available. So there's a few little murmurings, but not loads. I think they're the two, aren't they, at the moment? But we certainly need someone to at least put Dom under some pressure or give us the option to go 2 up. I think it would be very harsh to put that sort of pressure on Sadie when he's literally played one game and bundled a goal in. I think it'd be harsh to put that pressure on him, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So at one end of the pitch, it looks like we've got a few issues if anyone's injured, and same as the other end, mate, because Mark Travers, I mean, looks like he's going to be shoehorned into the number one, given the Woodman deal's not, going to happen. It's dead. He's got to step up, hasn't he? Do you think this is do you think we're still looking for a keeper as well, or is he going to place his trust in Travs?
I think it's a difficult one because this is just kind of my opinion is it seems that Scott Parker wanted Freddie Woodman, and he just thought, I'll get him. It looked like it was feasible, so didn't really need to look elsewhere. And it's one of them things with kind of the issues that Newcastle have had. They can't afford to let him go, and he's a Newcastle player, so that's their prerogative. And now it's kind of like, what do we do? And I think that it will probably be a situation where we give Travers a few games and see how he gets on. We haven't really been linked with any other goalkeepers, really, have we? So, it's a difficult one. I really do feel for Travers. We've spoke about this before, haven't we? The three of us, that he's probably a keeper that needs a good season out on loan.
Yeah.
But because of the situation we've had to keep him for a number two. And that doesn't help a goalkeeper. A young goalkeeper doesn't help just sat on the bench as a number two. So it's a difficult one. I do feel like he's a good goalkeeper with a lot of potential, but he's a young goalkeeper who I'm still not convinced with in terms of kind of commanding his area and things like that. The worry would be it only takes a few errors and people start getting on his back, and he's a young goalkeeper. Yeah. He's going to be playing Friday. I'll be shocked if he doesn't play Friday. I mean, things would have to happen quickly. But he's not a goalkeeper that I think is not ready to, he has played. I mean, he's played in the Premier League. So, yeah, maybe he's probably... Would I want him for the season as the guaranteed number one with Will Dellett as number two? Probably not. But do I feel really worried with him starting on Friday? No. I do think he's a good goalkeeper, but I think we will probably get a lone goalkeeper in. Who that'll be, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've seen that comment there. Ben Foster, to be fair. Yeah, we could probably look at a number two in the Premier League, maybe trying to get in on loan or something like that. I think we will probably get someone in. It will just be, I do feel like we put all our eggs in the Woodman basket, so we're going to have to readdress that. But yeah, wait and see on that one. That is something that I think could go all the way down to the end of the window, really. But wouldn't you love Travers to just play on Friday and have a really good game?
Oh, amazing.
Goalkeeper, such a position where confidence, we said it about Dom Solanke, didn't we? Get a goal. It's like the same with a striker. And I think, Travers, a few good saves early on Friday, lift his confidence. I'd love him to be the number one. But yeah, I think we certainly need another goalkeeper because him and Dennis would probably, it would be tough.
When he's live on Sky, though, mate, he performs absolute wonders. So, maybe it could be his time to shine. And look, arguably, it was Danjuma's time to shine, and he shone in many a match last season. And, Tiggs, he could be shining, if rumours are to be believed, in this stadium next season. I mean, look, we overpay for players. But, there are murmurings about Danjuma being linked to Liverpool for quite a lot of money. Thoughts at this early stage?
Thoughts at this early stage seems completely out of the blue for me, if I'm really honest. Like someone just pulled it out of their behind. I just don't understand where this has suddenly come from when up to this point, you were only saying a little while ago, Sam, that there hasn't been the great deal of interest like Buendia got. I can't imagine that they're working down their lists and they've got to Danjuma. I just don't buy it. So it might be just a really clever bit of jiggery pokery by an agent, come on Villarreal, you want to get your bid up, then this Liverpool are suddenly interested. I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling a little bit cynical at the moment, but I think he's amazing. But is he Liverpool first team ready? I don't know. He hasn't actually done anything in the Premier League, has he? He hasn't. He's lit up the Championship, which is a different league. So I don't know.
Very much so. Right. I'll get Tom's view very shortly, but this is why you should be subscribing this season. That didn't actually tell you why you should subscribe, but when you do, you'll be greeted with a hell of a lot of AFC Bournemouth content throughout the course of the season. If you're a fan of an EFL club, then get involved too. Right, Tiggs has just gone to get his laptop charger. So, Tom, Danjuma then, Liverpool, just speculation. I mean, Twitter's horrible at the moment, isn't it, mate? Because you see so many things that are just very difficult to believe, and that's another one of them for me.
It's difficult. I think with Danjuma as well, I mean, we know the quality he's got. I look at when they make that step up to the Premier League, when they've maybe only really proved it in the Championship, and you look at Buendia, for example, I think they've got to have a little bit going the other way. They've got to have that graft. I mean, I look at Klopp, I look at Bielsa, I thought Leeds were linked with a little bit, and I think they want players to give a little bit more than what Arnie done. We said that last season, that Woodgate, to his credit, I felt, said to Arnie, you're our main man, don't worry about the other way. Just do it when you get the ball. And he can do that in the Championship because he's that good. In the Premier League, I think you've got to give a little bit more. You look at people like, you only got to look at the Euros and see why Southgate trusted Sterling. And that's because he puts a shift in. And I wonder with Arnie if it's a bit too luxury to go into the Premier League and just walk into a team. That might be a little bit harsh on him, but I don't know. There's a reason why Villa, who look like they're going to get 100 million for Jack Grealish, are looking elsewhere. When Arnie is there for cheaper in the Championship available, they went for Buendia. I don't know if he offers enough off the ball, maybe, but it's an interesting one. I wonder now. This is just me. I haven't seen anything. Danny Ings just going. Could it be somewhere with Southampton? I mean, I'd hate it, but Southampton, could that be an option for him? Maybe. I don't feel like he's ready for a Liverpool. I would see more of a Palace, Southampton, Wolves, that sort of level, I would say. So I see that obviously the Wolves manager's gone to Tottenham, for example. He's looked at Traore. Wolves can maybe look at him. Southampton lost a few players, lost Bertrand, lost Danny Ings. That sort of move, and that would probably suit him as well. I don't think going to a top club like Liverpool would help him or Liverpool, to be honest. But yeah, you don't want to judge everyone with the same book, but I don't want a situation like we had with Josh King, really. Fraser, I think, was a little bit to another level, but I think even the Josh King one, he scored a few in the cup, but you knew he didn't really want to be around. And I think, credit to the club, I think we're holding out for 20 million, and I think we could get that. And I think that's fair. I think we can get 20 million for Arnie. Let's get it. But I still feel like it might be a move, maybe Spain, somewhere like that. I know Tiggs mentioned it. Maybe a Villarreal, Valencia. I think that would suit everyone. But he's a good player, isn't he? We all know that. But we have seen it on one season. Let's remember that. Has only been the one season, and I think we got him at the time because of his injury problems he's had elsewhere. And I think that's something that clubs do their scouting and stuff. And I think they've seen with Arnie that when he signed for Bournemouth, he couldn't really play in the Prem because he wasn't fit. And they only signed him for cheaper than he was probably wanted because he was always unfit in Holland and then he was unfit in Belgium. You've got to look at these things over the course of a season. But I think this one could drag out right to the end, to be honest. It's going to be going to be
Wonderful.
a bit of a pain.
So what does Scott Parker say on Danjuma when he's been pressed about him by various media outlets? He said, we're in a transfer window at this moment in time. The club have rejected a bid for Arnie. And of course, we know that one. The reason why Arnie wasn't involved because he's injured and there's no other reason. He's slowly coming through that, but not trained with the team. I mean, it would be good if he can play for us, wouldn't it? You know, just a couple of games. But could you see it happening, or is it going to be a case of we need to protect him because we are going to sell him, Tiggs?
I think we are going to sell him. I think it could go all the way to deadline day. I thought we had that Southampton links happened before, isn't it? I'm sure it's happened a couple of times throughout the summer. Kind of straight away after the season ended, and then again, just like a month ago, they were talking about him going to Southampton, and Southampton were put off by the fee. Well, I mean, Tom just sort of hit the nail on the head there. They've just lost a player. They've got a bit of money or a few players. That seems the most likely to me now, definitely. And I do think, as great as a player as he is, if we sell him, that's what for us, maybe 2 players and a bit of money back into Max and Demon's pockets. So, yeah, seems like good business. I know that a lot of people are thinking, but he was brilliant for us. Yeah, he was brilliant for us, but if he's got injury problems, is he a luxury we can afford to carry when we really can't probably pay all the bills without going back to the owner again and again and again? And we all know what the sense is coming from there. The feeling, just speculation, is that he's looking for a way to spread his money a little bit more around, not have to put any more in. So, yeah, it makes sense to me. He's our biggest asset. He would make a massive difference, and we could probably get 2 or 3 players in on the money that we'd get for him.
I think we'll learn from the Josh King. That's what I was going to say. I think the board will learn from the Josh King situation where we felt like he'd still put a shift in. And to be fair to Josh King, I will say to him, when he did play kind of in the cups and that, he did get a few goal stuff, but it's difficult when a player don't want to be there. And I always try and put it down to, if I was a footballer and I've got a player coming into training now and again, doesn't really want to be there, it's difficult, and we end up losing him for nothing. And he was probably one of our biggest assets, wasn't he? So I think they'll learn from that, and I do think we'll cash in on him. And I think it's probably I look at like Tig said, I think Southampton's a good shout. I mean, the money these days, Danny Ings, we all know he's a good striker and he's a goal scorer. He's guaranteed to miss 10 games with injury. He's got 30 million. He's 29, I think. I mean, Arnie's young, so I still think we can get money for him. I know Palace lost Townsend, didn't they? One of their wingers. Could be an option for maybe a Palace, but yeah, I think the Josh King thing will be close in their mind. It wasn't long ago, so yeah, I think now if we can get a bid, say 15 rising to 20, something like that, I think we'll probably do it.
Now, transfer speculation on Twitter, some of it's not to believe, some of it is to be believed. And do you know, when you're watching the BBC News before Match of the Day, like, if you don't want to see the results, look away now. Heather, if you don't want to hear about us talking about Philip Billing potentially going elsewhere, look away now. However, is this one true, Tom? I don't know. He seemed really happy. He's actually flourished, for Bournemouth so far from what I've seen this season. And, last season he found his spot. Scott Parker's system will, utilise him well, I think. But Norwich apparently interested, but I don't know whether that's just newspaper talk, possibly so.
Yeah, I think when Jason came in as well, it didn't look like he was really in Jason's plans, and I kind of expected him to go, really, and I wasn't that bothered. I don't think any fans were. I thought, Billy doesn't seem to want to be here. Woodgate seemed to get a new lease of life, didn't he, in that number 10 role, kept Wilshere out of the team. And Scott Parker wants him, in my opinion. I mean, and he's played well under Scott Parker, really. I mean, we've only got to look at that MK Dons game. I thought he was brilliant. I think he was decent in the Chelsea game. I think he's in his plans. I don't think he's going to be playing him like he has been if he wasn't. So I don't think Scott Parker would want him to leave. I think it's probably easy paper talk because he's been murmuring to want to leave. But I think that was under the old regime, personally. So it's weird, isn't it? Billing was one that myself and probably a lot of fans on kind of the free falls and things like that were like, just cash in, get him gone. And now I'd be gutted if he went now. I think he could be a real asset in that 10 role. And I think we're looking at kind of worrying with them striker options. I think he gives a lot, getting close to Dom. I think he gives a lot in that number 10 role, so I quite like him. And I think Scott Parker's getting the best out of him, like Woodgate did as well. So I'm hoping it's just paper talk. I don't think there's been the official bids. I think it's just an easy bit of lazy journalism. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And I think bidding looks like, I think because we've seen him look like he doesn't really want to be here, now we can really see, actually, he looks like he's enjoyed his football. Marcondes has come in as well, fellow Dane for him as well, which might help. I think he quite likes it. I think we'll keep Billing, personally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, I think as well, I think it's easy paper talk because when Marcondes came in, it looked like Marcondes was an easy replacement for Billing. Well, no one expected Scott Parker to play those two players so high up, essentially what looks like two number 10s, two attacking midfielders that press. So if we were to lose Billing, that kind of messes up his formation, his plan, everything. I mean, I know it looked like Junior got a chance in that position when we played against MK Dons, but yeah, for me, I think he's actually come quite integral to that kind of midfield triangle that Parker likes so much.
Yeah, paper talk then. It's paper talk. It's all fine. Phil's staying. And look at Heather. She is absolutely delighted. And it sounds like Heather and John have got tickets for Friday's game as well. So good on you. Right. Some more speculation and rumours and all sorts of stuff. How much do you know about Ethan Ampadu, Tom?
I know he's been highly rated in the past and hasn't really kicked on, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I remember because he was at Sheffield United, wasn't he, on loan?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that's a hell of a signing. And then because of their season, he kind of went on maybe it was just their season in general. They signed a few young players, didn't they? Brewster and things like that. It just didn't work for them. But highly rated young Chelsea centre-half that can play midfield. We've had that before, haven't we? And it went all right. So I'd definitely take it. I think if it was a kind of loan deal, I think it's a no-brainer because he is that type of player that can play centre-half, can also come into midfield, likes the ball. So, yeah, it could be a decent fit. He's Welsh, isn't he, Ampadu?
That's right.
He is. He's also made 12 senior appearances for Chelsea, spent time out on loan with RB Leipzig. He was actually... Chelsea picked Ampadu up from Exeter City. Matt Grimes, who we've been linked with, Ollie Watkins as well. So, I don't know. Like you said... a defender that can play midfield for Chelsea. Also, he did have the hair as well at one stage.
He did.
Massive, great, but
dreads,
So maybe it's meant to
Meps
be.
And Brooks might be in his ear as well. That's what I was thinking as well with the Welsh collection. That does always help. That plays a part. You know a few players there. Meps and Brooksy kind of saying, "Oh, I've developed my game here. I feel like we can get back to the top level. It's a good place for you to come, etc., etc." Could help. I think he's. I'm not going to say someone I know a lot about, but if you've been through the kind of Chelsea ranks as a young player, got a few loan moves and, like you say, a few senior caps, then you're not a bad player. So, I've seen a few links for that. Could be an interesting one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To be fair, can we have another top Ethan at the football club? I mean, got to take it, haven't we, if we can. But yeah, I think he's someone that if he came, I'd be quite excited about it without knowing too much, But I always like kind of getting a young player that's been at a top club because I think they've had that education. So, yeah, that's an interesting little rumour. And I guess if it wasn't going to be Sheffield United, he's bound to go somewhere on loan because he ain't going to break straight into the Chelsea team, is he? So, yeah, it could be an option, I guess.
The only thing... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, the only thing that kind of gets me about it, gets me a little bit confused, is we talked about this before, Tom, like the players that we're looking at are not in the positions that we think that we're the weakest in. So, you bring in Ampadu, then who goes out? Yeah. Is Ibsen Rossi? Has he dropped out then? Because we've already got Cook, and we've already got Mepham, and we've already got Kelly, who's going to be a centre back now because we brought in Leif Davis at left. So yeah, I just think, and then I can't see him playing in the central midfield role because you've already got Cook, you've got Pearson, you've got Gavin Kilkenny, Lerma.
Does he stay? What's going on with him?
I ain't got a clue what's happening with Lerma. I do think we've spoke about this before, but I do think this 6-game ban thing is really making it difficult to work out what's happening. And obviously, we know there's been some things in his personal life as well, haven't there? Which has probably played into that. And then he's played for Colombia. There's loads of different things, I think. But I think the fact that he's got that ban and then it will end and the window will still be open for a few days. I think if Lerma were to go, it'd be right at the end of the window. So I don't think we're going to hear too much until that. But yeah, I love him, but we have got options in that position. It just shocks me that we're getting linked with all these players. I haven't heard a winger. We haven't got any wingers. Like, we're assuming Danjuma's going to go. Junior and Brooks, and then you're relying on a Jane Nantley, you know. It's, I mean, I don't know. Are we going to get a winger? It's weird because me and Tig spoke about this, actually, that the players we're getting linked with, you think, it looks like a kind of, you want to play a three at the back, maybe, and be kind of, but Scott Parker hasn't played that with us. So, and that's what, you know, going back to the kind of billing thing is, I think you've seen that Sam Surridge, for example, who's gone, he wasn't playing as many minutes in pre-season as I thought he would. And now it kind of makes sense because he's been moved on. Danjuma hasn't played any minutes. Billing's been playing every single time. And I don't think Scott Parker would be playing someone if he wanted his plan. So that's why I'm convinced he'll stay. But yeah, a few more wide, because I wouldn't even describe a David Brooks as a winger. I describe him as a player that could play wide and come in. He's not a winger. So yeah, that'd be, I still think a winger's got to come in, but we haven't really been linked with him, like you say. So there's going to be a lot of twisted turns yet.
We had that Carl Edwards, but I don't know if he's still he's still training about.
He's still training, which you think, well, why is he still training?
And I thought he'd done all right against Chelsea when he come on. I know it's the 45, but he didn't even play in the under-21s game, did he, the other day? But I suppose a lot of that is to see how he is fitness-wise as well. And I suppose if he's happy here and he's happy training, Scott Parker will just kind of wait for him to be fit, which is kind of what we did with Wilshere, wasn't it? Well, let's not do anything until you've proved your fitness. But, it's weird. I do think a few more wingers will be mentioned. I mean, I think the ideal thing would be if the Danjuma Liverpool one is legitimate, could we get Harvey Elliott on loan? That's the only murmurings I've heard. But yeah, I think we could do with a winger personally.
Yeah, we could. And it's good to see Steve Cook on social media with a tweet that we can all enjoy. And it was that back soon emojis. And so, you know, all that kind of stuff before. I think it was just a bit of a, he had a bit of a moment. I had a bit of a wobble on social media, and everyone jumped to conclusions. Things were removed from his profile and stuff, but everything is all good. Steve
Sam,
Cook,
if you said to me, I'm going to Marbella with Tiggs, Neil, Jeff, we're just going to Marbella, and I wasn't invited, I'd have a wobble. You know what I mean? He could have gone to Marbella, so I don't blame him. But listen, whatever anyone says, you've got to have, if Cookie's got to be in the squad, and he's got to be there. He's clearly got some sort of injury that he's got to get. And to be fair, we've kind of, with Ibsen Rossi's kind of resurgence to the team out of nowhere, Lloyd Kelly doing a job at centre-half, Meps becoming available, we can kind of, I think, wait. We don't have to rush Cookie back. I wonder if we rushed him back a few times last season, we never not.
Yeah.
Because he was that vital. I feel like we can just wait for him to get back to full fitness. But same with the other Cookie, isn't it? So because we've got options in them areas, but no one's forcing Cookie out the door, are we? Let's be real.
No, which probably means that the Connor Carter Vickers, that deal probably is no longer on. I can't see us. Why would we got so many options now at centre half? It's like the Ben Davis one as well.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah,
I mean, unless it's a kind of Danjuma. Are we going to get ripped off again by Liverpool?
Oh god!
Just imagine.
Well, they're going to have Danjuma, and we'll just get some players on loan for a season. They get Danjuma.
Oh god. Let's hope not. Right. Have you got one of these? Hopefully you should have. Really looking forward to it. We're going to have a chat about ticketing coming up soon. So, yeah, mine arrived in the post this morning. And if you haven't got yours, you'll get it through the post in a few days. Tegs, you got yours?
No, I haven't got mine yet. And I bought mine before you bought yours.
You thumbs up and said, oh,
I don't need to worry about my ticketing fiasco now getting in. I know what I'm doing with the card.
I love the way you put it in the turnstiles, but you thought the reader was like reading it up, so you were putting it in that way. But when you go to turns, and also there are 2 slots as well, one for the card and one for your paper tickets, and it
3
always
points
causes.
It's hard to work out.
Always 3 and the rest. It's just Anyway, I think it's the top one is the paper tickets, and then one beneath is the bit first season ticket cards or whatever. But anyway, but West Brom went to general sale. There were a few people on Twitter going to spare that there were loads of tickets that were still available in the South Stand, and it's embarrassing. And look, we've got to take into account a number of things that may be reasons why. COVID uncertainty. Some people just aren't that confident about going to games again. Some people, due to furlough and all sorts, and trying to get themselves back stable financially. They're just not flush with cash at the moment. And when a game is televised on Sky, you can probably see why they may have thought, actually, nah, you know what? You're taking a family of 4, you know, with food and everything else, probably best part of £100 or more. Friday night games for families, anyway, it's not good, because by the time you get out of the car park, you're probably, you know, putting your kids to bed, you know, past 11 o'clock, which is no good. And hate to say it, but there will also be a small element of Premier League fans that are no longer interested. Could be the case. And look, let's also remember that a couple of Premier League matches also went to general sale as well. But what is good is when it goes to general sale, everyone's got a chance to get a ticket and build up their points balance. So Heather's just commented saying that she's got 1 point for the cup and 1 for the league. And you know what? That gets you on the ladder, Heather. And like, whenever you can get a ticket, just get there really quickly and it will start to build up. And yeah, really good to see, Tigsy, eh?
Yeah, it's good. See, opening. I mean, we have to remember, for all of our success over the last sort of 5 out of the last 6 years, at the end of the day, when we were in the Championship, how many games that we didn't really start selling out, did we? Until it looked like promotion was going to happen, and then you couldn't get a ticket for love nor money. You know, people were fighting each other in the streets for them, you know, with their shirts off. That was just me then. Okay. But yeah, I think it is great. I mean, it's great that the club maybe are realising it. We went to 0 points quite quickly, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, all things considered, I know it's only a few days away, but still, we're doing it a little bit steeper, which allows more people to get to games, and, you know, and now away games as well. So that will be great. It'll be great to see. The only problem is that, Sam, I haven't had my ticket yet. I'm getting a little bit anxious because I know that outside the ticketing office, the queues, well, they've been horrendous.
I'll come bring you a beer in a plastic cup, Tiggs, if you're out.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
I'll need one.
So this was the scene at 2:45 p.m. on Saturday. Now, judging from Ollie May, who tweeted me on my @SamDavisUK, that's my personal account if you want to follow me, by the way.
Nice plug.
Nice plug. 3:03. The actual queues were outside the gates and onto Thistlebarrow Road. But look at this. These are people that are collecting their tickets, 2:45. And you just think, how on earth is this the case? I mean, look at it. It went back as far as the Great Escape Bar. It doesn't look good, Tiggs, eh?
No, and when I heard there were queues outside, I on both games, the Chelsea game and this one, I was with near Kenwood, and I mentioned it to him, and I assumed it was people queuing up to get in. I didn't realise it was people queuing up to pick up their ticket before they could get in. I thought it was at the turnstiles. So, yeah, this is not great. It's not a great way to get tickets into people's hands, considering what it's just what, scannable thing. I mean, there must be a better way of doing it.
Well, yeah, let's brainstorm here. Like, what, you know, I've been to Poole Town before, just about 5-minute walk from where I am, and they've got QR codes. You print it at home, and there's, you know, someone who scans it, and you're straight on in there. Like, and we've surely got the technology to implement that. And I just don't know why. Is there a reason why we can't? I don't know. It just sounds absolutely bizarre why this is happening. Or I put it on the Vitals forum, actually, like, you know, and I know that there's a cost, a sort of implication to this financially, but why not give all supporters a season ticket style card? Why not? They can charge them a like one-off tenner for the card, or however much it costs to, you know, to sort, you know, their like fees out. But then you can waive the £3 admin fee for each transaction. Because every time I'm buying a ticket at the moment, 32 quid. It's actually 35 quid. And I worked it out, right? I worked it out, like, say that there's like, I don't know, 6,000 season ticket holders. So that means there's 4,000 people buying tickets on a match-to-match basis, right? £3 admin fee each time. I worked out over the course of a season, that's over 250 grand. So that's probably money that the club maybe don't want to let go of. But, you know, to me, it just makes sense to like have a season ticket style card for all supporters. It makes fans feel as though they belong a little bit more, I would say. And look, once they get their tickets, they can just have them loaded onto the cards, you know, just like you do for cup games at the moment, Tom. That, you know, that's what happens in it. You buy a ticket online and then your ticket is just loaded onto the card, right?
Yeah, very fortunate because, like I say, because I'm a season ticket holder, it just gets loaded on. It seems so easy. But like you say, you brought it up to me the other week, Sam. It does seem mad that we I mean, you think of the modern world now. I mean, you barely have to do anything, do you? I mean, you can go somewhere and you forget all your money. You think, oh, I'll just pay it on my phone. Like, everything's so easy to do it. And you just think, I could go to, I don't know, the old fire station and go and watch some local band. And I don't have to go and get a ticket for it. I've got it on my phone, on the email, just got a code.
Yeah.
And the fact that a championship club who were in the Premier League not long ago, out of queues like that while the game's going on, because you have to go and pick up a paper ticket, does seem really odd. And I just like it because I actually think, they get a bit of stick, but I think sometimes the club have been all right. I think social media, I think some of them are doing a really good job with certain things of getting out there. And, some of the content we've had over in Marbella, et cetera, online has been really good. And I just like them to come out if there is a reason and kind of go, this is why at the moment we can't do that, or, because of COVID, because of, a certain reason, and, that'd be fine. But it just seems like they're kind of hiding behind it. But there's not many clubs that surely have to go and pick up a paper ticket like that. It does seem very strange. And I felt for the fans. And, on the weekend when we played MK Dons, the game, 20 minutes in, suddenly the capacity is just like everyone's coming in because there's still people coming in. It was mad, and I did feel for the fans, but it does seem bizarre and something they need to, maybe, and hold your hands up, maybe say they didn't really expect that, that's fine. But it did seem strange that was the case, and hopefully we won't have too much of that going into a game on Friday. But yeah, I think we need to take it with a pinch of salt as well. I think you mentioned it there, Sam, with Friday's game coming up. Think of COVID. A lot of fans have kind of been off work and now going into work. Are working till 6 p.m. They can't rush and go and get to the game on Friday when they've only just started working again. I think, and it's on the telly. I think it's one of them things. I think you've got to put it into perspective. It's a difficult one for fans to get to, so it doesn't surprise me that it went to general.
You know what? And what made it worse? I mean, I obviously did a mini vlog on the Chelsea video, and I was the Chelsea friendly, and I was late for that. So I was in the ticketing queue. I missed the first 10, 15 minutes of that. But the stewards were telling you to get closer to each other, to, push up to allow people to get. If you lost your head, it's like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? And yes, we're in a post-COVID era now, kind of, but come on, that just seemed crazy. So why not do this? This is surely, in terms of being COVID secure, the best way to do it. And look, if there's a cost for these cards, tenner, 20 quid, just charge your fans that, and then they can get their money back when they hand it back at the end of the season. But at the end of the day, if you're paying £3 a match for admin fees within 7 matches, you're much better off than sort of doing it ticketed wise. And that also would perhaps encourage fans to go to more games as well, because they sort of think, oh, you know what, I need to get 6 or 7 tickets here to actually make it worth my while, that kind of thing. I don't know why it's not done, and I'm sure that the supporters groups, Cherries Trust and the Supporter Experience Working Group will be looking into it. I'm absolutely certain. But look, we have all got our tickets one way or another. Tiggs, yours is coming tomorrow, so don't worry.
Thanks, Sam.
It's all good. It's all good. And I'm looking forward to being at Dean Court. But what about the people who can't be at Dean Court? Well, AFCB TV, they will be covering the Cherries again, but it's not quite like last season. So what's happening then? Yeah, well, the streaming information has been confirmed for 21-22. And domestically, with the return of supporters to stadiums, it means that UEFA is doing its usual blackout of 2:45 to 6:45 on Saturday, so no televised matches will be happening on AFCB TV. But if the game is not being shown on Sky Sports, and it's not on the final weekend of the season, and it's not a match that's been rearranged that was on Sky, then it will be on AFCB TV. So that's pretty good, for domestic. So that's the midweek matches, isn't it? Those annoying ones that you probably do. That Stoke one, I think, is on a Tuesday night. So yeah, it's all right that we can do Red Button on that, eh?
Yeah. What about Red Button? Is Red Button including that on?
Yeah. So no, it's not. So AFCB TV will have it.
Okay.
And also it'll be on Sky Sports Red Button as well. So it's not like every match like it was last season, but then we can all go. And also internationally, supporters who live outside of the UK and Ireland can watch all of the matches that aren't selected for live television coverage. It's worth checking out afcb.co.uk and seeing what it says there. It's all very complicated, but it's worth a look at so you know what you're doing. Right. Lastly, I think we need to talk about what we're doing this season here at Back of the Net. How are we going to cover this bad boy? Because it's a bit of a weird one, Tiggs, isn't it? Because when we used to do the fan chats outside, you, me, Kenwood, Jeff, who else did it? There were
a few more. Yeah,
a few others. I can't think at this point in time.
I was normally too angry to come and have a chat.
Tom,
you just
did
stomped past.
It was going bad. It was going badly. Sam would always mess me at the wrong time, and I'd think we've just lost Sam. I'm going home. But
we always did these kind of fan chats outside the stadium, like afterwards, right? And look, when I do a video, I'm basically I'm filming on a phone or whatever, or on a device. Maybe doing them on this. Thanks to everyone's support, by the way. Our brand new camera, unbelievable. Like when you turn this thing on, it winks at you. It actually winks at you. I'm not even joking.
That's the same as me, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Ready?
Turn me on, I wink at you.
Ready? Oh, love that.
That's
Beautiful.
nice.
But that's what we filmed the vlog on, and thanks to your help, we can vlog much better. And I think lots of people have said some really, really positive comments about that. And look, I find it a little bit awkward vlogging, but there are so many people that want to see an AFC Bournemouth match day captured. But
I didn't even know you were doing it.
You didn't even know I was doing it. Okay, yeah. But after the game then, so we would film me chatting to one person, or we'd stop the video, we'd do another one. We stop the video, we'd do another one. There were some matches where we had like 8 or 9 fan chats. So that's 8 or 9 separate uploads on YouTube, kind of like Arsenal Fan TV do. And look, it's work I don't really want to do. So what we're going to do is have a free-for-all fan cam, Tiggs, aren't we?
We are indeed, mate. And we're going to just push it all in as bundle. Just a COVID safe free-for-all bundle. Anyone wants to come in. Yeah.
Yeah. There's me criticising the stewards. I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But...
Come on in and, chat to us.
So what we'll be doing, right? After the game, just opposite the 1910 bar. In fact, I will show you exactly where it is. So, so you've got sort of no excuse of not finding us. There's our beautiful stadium right there on Google Maps. How far can I zoom in? Right. That's where the 1910 bar, where that like Champions building is like stuck out the back there. And you can see there's a little entrance just where my cursor is into the car park, right? That's where we'll be. So just opposite the entrance to the 1910 bar is where we're going to be stood after each and every home Cherries game. And this is the format, right? It's going to be one video. People can come and go within that 20-25 minutes. And I'm going to have a quick word with you. And then there can be just like me doing a one-on-one piece, or Tiggs doing a one-on-one piece, and we'll get Simon K in, that's fine. We'll get Kirk in, we'll get whoever. But there could be lots on screen at once. There could be one person on screen at once. At the end of the day, there could be some nice little, supporters having some conflict with each other. Not that that's what we want. I don't want it to turn into that sort of channel. But if there is debate, why not have it out in person? I think it could be quite good. And what we don't want though is for it to look like a clique. Okay, and that's always my fear with Back of the Net, right? So, like, if you haven't got an opinion for a game, if you haven't really got a strong opinion, just don't come on. And that sounds like really horrible, but we want to have different people each week. We don't want people to be kind of walking past and thinking, oh God, it's the same suspects week in, week out, because otherwise they probably won't feel welcome. So maybe just come every other week or whatever, have a chat. We'll have 15 to 20 people, just, free for all, just like roving reporter, Martin Brundle grid walk. And then we'll get that one video up on YouTube as soon as we possibly can. So you can look at some raw reaction. We'll have Tiggs, Tiggs will be there. Tom's going to be there every so often. Lucy's going to be there with the camera. So it's, hopefully it'll all go okay, Tom, and hopefully some happy views on Friday.
I've decided I've just thought of my role there. I thought, well, if you're doing that, people are waiting around. If you go across it to the 1910 bar, I'll be in the bar. So you could I could be like the kind of person like in between chats, just come and have a pint.
You'll give me, you'll be giving me grief out the window, like, Sam, you're a dickhead. Yeah, I can imagine it. Yeah.
I feel like I could be the stopgap, or like,
Cheers,
but no, genuinely, like come and have, like you said, it's anyone, welcome, come and have a chat, just come and talk about the game. And then, and then you've got the bar opposite, go and have a drink. One of us will be in there. We'll have a pint in the chat. Even if I appreciate that, like you were saying there, I think sometimes, especially if you haven't been on before, it is quite daunting, isn't it? To kind of, thinking, I'm going on a channel, I'm at, what if people don't like my opinion, stuff like that. If if before you want to kind of just chat to us off camera, all three of us, will be about. If you want to come and have a beer and just have a chat with us and feel comfortable with us, and maybe come on in a few weeks or whatever, that's absolutely fine as well. You don't. If you want to have a chat with us about football because we're recognisable faces now because we're YouTube famous, no. But if you just want to come and have a chat about football but not be on camera yet, do that. You know what I mean? And but if you want to come on, just come and have a chat. It'll be nice. It's going to be weird, isn't it? Because it feels like we've done it all virtually. Yeah, so it's going to be really nice to see. We've had it us three, haven't we, in the pre-season at Chelsea and MK Dons, just having a chat with people. And I'm seeing people. I think I know you, but I don't know you in person before.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really nice.
It should be. And look, sometimes you might just see you don't want to be interviewed by one person, and you sort of want to go on with a mate. Well, now you can. You can bring your mates, and why not come on? But obviously, little Daniel from Florida, Jeremy from North Carolina, like all these people are thinking, how are we going to get involved? Pre-match free for all.
Nice.
Pre-match free for all. Do you like it? Tomorrow at 8:00 is a pre-match free for all where you can get involved. We'll pick a team together. We'll preview it. Like different people can bring their different like parts to it. John Spark can bring his like stats, his PPDA stats, and Daniel can choose his team, and other people can. It's just going to be a free for all, and that means that everyone can get involved. And then we'll also try to do something also once every month as well. That is not going to be a preview, but just like a live Sunday night show where everyone can just have a chinwag and talk about all things AFC Bournemouth. You know what? I'm looking forward to it, lads. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait. I can't. When you just said then about the preview tomorrow, I thought, oh my God, yes, that's how close it is, isn't it? Two more sleeps.
Two more sleeps.
And it's great to be kicking off the season, isn't it? I've seen so many people kind of get excited about the football season. I think, we're kicking it off.
Yeah.
I actually think it would be quite a watched game as well, because a lot of people will just be wanting to get that football fix. It's the first kind of competitive league game. So really looking forward to it. And you never know. If we have a successful season, everyone keeps subscribing to that. We'll end up having a Christmas do out in America. We can meet Jeremy. We can meet Dan. We'll go out to America for a do. Let's do that. We're going international. This is it.
I love it.
I'm buzzing for it, mate. Buzzing.
Love it. Cannot wait for that. So there you go. The pre-match free-for-alls tomorrow on your screens at 8 p.m. Do come and join us then. Really looking forward to talking about it. And look, the last thing we want to say is thank you to everyone who donates to Back of the Net, including our monthly supporters, who are Andy Marsh, John Amos, David Codran, Steve Hensman, and Richard Jackson as well. A number of people have donated one-offs. We're always thankful. And you can do that via our Ko-fi page, which is afcbpodcast.com/coffee. That'll take you to the page where you can donate. And what it does do, right, helps us to buy things like this to improve what we're delivering to you, all right? And it pays for our streaming software, the graphic software that we're using as well. So we really appreciate it. If you want your name on the roll of honor, and we're going to make these people that are monthly subscribers, we're going to make their names prominent on the end, title sequence of Back of the Net. So on every video, your name is going to be there, so you can join them on the roll of honor if you want. So thanks to all you guys. But even if it's a one-off donation, we do truly appreciate it. In terms of the mugs, there's so much admin I need to do, right? I need to get some mugs out to like Mark Cole. If you're watching, you're getting that, I promise. There are some other like one was broken in transit to Stephen Grant. That one's going to be done as well. There's a book that came to me that I thought was going straight to Tim Stock. I need to send that out as well. Just give me a bit of time and I'll get that done next week for you lads. But if you want to support us, we would truly appreciate it. And every single penny that we get is reinvested into the podcast one way or another. Right.
Tiggs' wages.
Tiggs' wages. Tiggs' barber. Love it. So
I haven't been yet.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Can we do a thing now that you can't cut it until someone scores or something? Can we do that? Or
yeah, all right. Who should we say?
Who should we say? Who's a fair one though? We can't just say like the goalkeeper. It's not,
don't say Travis. Although you never know.
Shall we say Marcondes because he's a new signing?
All right, Marcondes. I won't cut my hair until Marcondes scores.
There we go. Happy days.
Oh, love it. Thank you, Ethan. Also, Paul Horry earlier for the super chat. I think we said thank you at the time, but that's really appreciated. It's really nice. And look, when we get the mugs, we'll sort it out. I won't lie, posting them is a nightmare because things like this happen. Sad. I think that happened to Heather's mug as well. But anyway, we will get that sorted. Thanks for all your support and look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the free for all, but not least at the stadium on Friday as well. What time are you getting there, Tiggs?
Oh, I'll get there I'll be in the stadium with around about 45 minutes to go, I reckon. So around about 7 o'clock, I'll be rocking in through that turnstile. As long as I've not been stood in a queue trying to get a ticket.
Tom, what time you get there, mate?
I'm off, mate. So I'll probably be messaging you about 9 a.m. saying you fancy brekkie.
I love it.
It worked out really nicely for me. So I will be just waking up, buzzing, just waiting for the game to be honest. I keep forgetting that it's a Friday evening game. But obviously, fortunately, I've got the ticket and stuff like that, season ticket. So just basically, Sam, whenever you're about, let's get that beer going. You know what I mean? So
let's do it. Let's. Right. Thanks for everyone that's been watching. All the comments, we really appreciate it. We've read every single one, and we'll read it back. Obviously, when we watch ourselves back. No, we don't do that. Anyway, thanks very much, Tiggs. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Enjoyed it muchly.
Tom, it's always a pleasure.
Cheers, boss.
Go and have that shower now, mate. You deserve one. Up the Cherries. See you tomorrow.